On today's episode of The Angle Show, we're going to be taking a look at a WWE superstar who had left the company, potentially coming back to the company after having problems with the company. Plus, is CM Punk transitioning to a backstage role in NXT? We're going to talk about that and so much more right here on TAS. Today's episode of The Angle Show is sponsored by our good friends at Raycon. Ladies and gentlemen, these are a huge lifesaver in my life. These are the everyday earbuds. They're dust resistant, water resistant, and there's just so many great details that I have to share them with you. All right, so I already got my Raycon everyday earbuds connected to my iPhone. I put them into my ear, and I don't know if you could tell this or not, but they are absolutely comfortable. I got some big ears, right? And if you have big ears, you know when you're searching for earbuds, like the number one thing you're looking for is comfort, and you're looking for comfort, but you don't want to necessarily sacrifice the quality. This is why Raycons has become such a big lifesaver. Now I got the protective case on this, but just so you guys can see size wise, they are really, really, really nice. Very premium build. But then there's just so much more that they've done with this that really makes it a complete product, and I want to tell you about it. Nothing is worse than when you're trying to have a productive day and next thing you know, your earbuds die out on you. Thankfully, with the Raycon everyday earbuds, you can charge these in 10 minutes and get 1.5 hours worth of battery. And if you don't want messy cables, these are compatible with wireless charging, which makes it just so much more convenient. The thing that I love most about these everyday earbuds, honestly, is the fact that they have multi-touch capabilities. That's like the thing that I've been using the most. When your phone's in your pocket, you're going for a little jog or whatever it may be, you just have the ability to tap or hold on your earbuds, and it just makes the experience way more easier and way more friendly. Click my link in the description if you guys want exclusive discounts on all of the best selling Raycon products. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring The Angle Show. All right, guys, so I want to kick things off in today's video talking about CM Punk. And I don't want to spend too much time about this because CM Punk was reportedly backstage at NXT. There's a picture being shown with him and Cora Jade as well as Roxanne Perez. And the reason, as you all know, they have a very good friendship. But there's been a lot of talk and rumors that eventually when CM Punk's career ends in the ring, he will go into some sort of backstage role with NXT. And obviously we have talked about this before, but more now than ever, you can see that CM Punk's influence in backstage in the environment of NXT has become very helpful. A lot of people seem to respect CM Punk backstage in NXT in comparison to where he was previously. Now, of course, when I think of CM Punk and his run in AEW, I kind of wonder why more people didn't take advantage of this. Obviously, he's a longtime vet. He understands the business extremely well, and we saw the success of what he did on Collision, but it is interesting to me that it never worked out, but all of a sudden in WWE, it has. Also, backstage at WWE NXT New Year's Evil was Nick Khan and Triple H, who were shown on camera, which of course they are going to take all the credit they can for all of this great success WWE currently has. You just have to wonder if CM Punk will be the next to get all corporate on us. We'll have to wait and see. That brings us to our next topic. We're going to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't like spoilers, this could be a spoiler. It's not 100% a spoiler, but it could be one. So I'm just giving you the warning now. By now, you've had enough time to click off or skip in the timestamps, but that leads us to John Cena. Now, there is a lot of talk about John Cena potentially winning the 17th World Championship, and at the end of the day, nobody really knows what WWE is going to do other than WWE. We don't know if The Rock will be back in time for WrestleMania, which obviously if he does return at WrestleMania, it's safe to say that The Rock will definitely change everybody's plans. However, what is really interesting here is that on the backstage pass of Sportskeeda, the Q&A, WrestleVotes actually noted that Cena is seen within the company at the top of the list of names to win this year's Royal Rumble match. So this obviously gets me thinking a lot about John Cena and where he stands in the WWE product. And I think obviously if he were to win the Royal Rumble, it's not a bad idea. You know, I've always liked the idea of Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, King of the Ring, Elimination Chamber, using those gimmicks to, jumpstart somebody's career. So, of course, naturally, in a situation like this, I would much rather see a guy like Carmelo Hayes or Braun Breaker surprise everybody and win. But WWE has to be very careful here, because with John Cena trying to get his 17th championship, this is his farewell tour. The last 6 years, he ain't winning matches. They got to do something to immediately make him a credible threat. I think if WWE were smart, John Cena would enter the Royal Rumble very early. I think they should have him enter very early. I think he should struggle throughout the Royal Rumble, and then for him to win, it should be decisive. I think that would be the best course of action for John Cena, because I think at the end of the day, you don't want him to come in at number 30, right? I still like my fantasy booking idea. Guys, I had this fantasy booking idea that I mentioned several times now, where maybe The Rock uses his executive power and enters number 31. That would be really cool too. I don't know if The Rock would win the Royal Rumble if that were the case, but I feel like he would, because that's how WWE is. But nonetheless, this is exciting to me. John Cena in the Royal Rumble. This is the last year that we get John Cena in WWE. It's definitely bittersweet. If he wins the Royal Rumble versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, I'm all for it. That's a very, very big time matchup to be excited about. And that brings us to a massive surprise. Nikki Bella is back on good terms with the WWE. We saw her at the red carpet with Netflix, but we didn't really know too much about her situation with the WWE. She has been very open about being disgruntled with the WWE. Now she spoke about this on her podcast. She says, as everyone knows, the one thing about family, whether it's a business family or your actual family, there is always at some point a rocky road. That's life. It happens and emotions happen. She then addresses the challenges after her and Brie left WWE. She said that we've had a rocky road with WWE, and the one thing is, I've grown over the past few years and have continued to work on myself. I realize times where I've made outbursts out of emotions that I probably shouldn't have done, and then there are times where I can recognize that I felt hurt and I want to be heard, but it probably wasn't the right thing to do. She says she felt all these emotions because I felt at home and I was so happy to be home. Then to be so accepted and loved felt so incredible because things were rocking. There's nothing better than when you have that moment of making up, knowing this bond is so strong because it's pretty much like blood and we are family and we are always connected. You know, there was actually a lot of rumors at one point, by the way, that Nikki would potentially go to AEW. So that's how serious it was. But I love when WWE fixes their relationships with talent that are disgruntled or people that are unhappy. You know, Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, they wrestled for WWE at a time where it wasn't that big for women's wrestling, and now women's wrestling is huge. So, you know, listen, I think it's very safe to say that Nikki Bella probably will be in the Women's Royal Rumble. I wouldn't mind seeing Nikki and Brie go up for the tag titles too, man. Like, they have a women's tag team division. It doesn't hurt to have the Bellas there. If John Cena's getting a final run, let the women have a final run. That would be the right decision, in my opinion. But I'm glad to see that the issues are fixed. That's the big thing, guys. The issues are fixed. They needed to be fixed. It's incredibly important that they're fixed. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think. And don't forget, shout out to Raycon for sponsoring today's video.